What is up, everyone? Movie Wayne back again with another Blu-ray and 4K update. This is just me going over everything I bought over the past few weeks. Now, the good news is I've got a healthy little stack here, slightly more than usual. The bad news is that I have hardly watched any of these. Now, there is a few I've watched in there, but one of them is a box set, and that's been taking up a lot of my time. So a lot of the movies I've been watching this month are out of that box set, which I'll get to in a minute. So I apologise for that. I usually like to talk about at least half of the pickups I've got, but a lot of these movies I just haven't seen yet. Also, I wouldn't say any of these are blind buys or anything. I've either heard of them or I've had them on my radar or I do have an interest in them. So I'll talk about why I've picked them up, even though I haven't seen them. But let's just get into it now. Anyway, and the first thing I picked up is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Second Sight Limited Edition Boutique 4K, whatever you want to call it, from Second Sight. Now, I don't really upgrade too much to 4K. There are certain films I will do it with, like Clockwork Orange. I've done it with Speed. They're some of the best films I've ever seen, and I just had to do it with this. It's my favourite horror movie of all time, and one of my favourite movies of all time. It's like in my top 20 overall best movies, and I just had to do this. I went to cinema to watch it last year. I've seen it about 20 to 30 times now, I think. It's just such a rewatchable movie to me, and I've even watched it again on 4K. Yes, I watched this last Sunday when I was slightly hungover there, but it's a movie I can just throw on and have a good time with whenever. And the 4K is beautiful to look at. It's the best looking version of this movie. Even though I went to cinema to see this, I think this was my favourite time watching this because it was just so crisp and clear. A little bit of grain here and there, but the 4K transfer this is the best you're going to get. Again, had a great time with this movie. Every time I watch it, it just gets better and better for some reason. It's just one of them films where you notice little things here and there. I love how realistic this movie is. It's absolutely horrifying. The whole situation just seems so realistic that you could easily go to the back of Texas and there are people living in these little places in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's so real to me. And Sally at the end of the movie in the third act, that is an actor, man. That's real. So, yeah, a Leatherface, a horror icon, was born here. And yeah, just talking about it now makes me want to watch it again. So, very, very happy to own this. Like I said, if you want to see me unbox this, it will be in the link down below. But I'm very, very happy with this edition. I'm so happy. I had to pick it up. So that is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Second Sight. Next up, we have the box set I was talking about. I'm just going to move this over here. Sorry about this, everyone. 1 second. Next up, we have the box set I was talking about. That's taken up a hell of a lot of my time. And that is the Fast and Furious 8-movie collection. Now, there was a 9-movie collection, but this was on sale for £45, and the 9-movie collection was £100. Plus, it had Hobbs and Shaw in there, so really it was a 10-movie collection. But with Fast X coming out, I'm going to have to buy that anyway to complete things. So the 9-movie box set wouldn't have been a complete edition anyway, because we have Fast X on the horizon. So I'm just going to buy Hobbs and Shaw and Fast and Furious 9 and X when it comes out separate and put it next to this box set. But I'd never seen these films before, apart from the first one, which I used to watch religiously on DVD. So it's strange that I haven't watched, the rest of this franchise. But me and my wife have been really enjoying these movies. We're on part 7 now. We've watched the first 6. And I'm really, really enjoying them. They're easy popcorn flicks to watch. Part 5 was definitely the best out of the lot. Just had a little bit more something to it. Thought part 6 tried to be number 5, but wasn't quite as good, but still a very good film. 4 is the one that seemed to get a lot of hate, but I actually quite enjoyed that one. Tokyo Drift, definitely the worst for me. Even though it's still a decent movie, I just didn't like the main protagonist. I couldn't stand them at all. Too Fast, Too Furious was good fun, and the first Fast and Furious, not as good as I remember, but it was still a good movie. I don't know why I went backwards there. I should have went forward, really, with the franchise, but sorry about that. But I'm very, very happy to own these. I'm definitely going to be watching 7 and 8, 9 and Hobbs and Shaw before Fast X comes out. And I'm thinking about doing a full ranking on the channel, so look out for that nearer the time Fast X comes out. But I'm very, very happy to finally get round to these. It was one of my goals for the year to watch this entire franchise, and I'm having a blast with it. Vin Diesel, though, I'm not sure he is the greatest actor, but he just works for this franchise. The cheese and the dialogue he comes out with kind of just works, doesn't it? Really, really love Roman in this, played by Tyrese Gibson. He is my favourite character in these movies. I just think he's so funny, but yeah, happy to own this. Finally getting around to them movies now. Next up, we have another 4K that I have not seen yet, but it's been on my list for a while because once I found out this was a video game movie, I had to get around to it, I felt, and that is Rampage, and I got a really good deal on eBay for this. Thank you to everyone in the Blu-ray community who put this up on the Movie Mad page, I believe, saying this was like £4 on eBay, so I picked it up on 4K. Just haven't watched it yet. I do like The Rock, though. He's great in the Fast and Furious films as well. Forgot to mention him there. I'm looking forward to checking this out. Started a little video game movie ranking on my Letterboxd there, and you know, they're getting better as time goes on. Really enjoyed the Mario movie this month and everything, so hoping this is up there with some of the best. It looks a fun movie, but yeah, that is Rampage. By the way, if you want to follow me on Letterboxd, that is down below in the description with the unboxing there. Next up, we have a movie that my friend Mondo Cholovic Movies was talking about, John Perry. I'm sure most of you know who he is. If not, his link is down below. He does my music, so it is in the music description there. And he was talking about this film, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick it up anyway, because along with my other goals this year of watching the Fast and Furious franchise, I want to watch every Arnold Schwarzenegger film, and I've been making my way through them, and that is Red Sonja on 4K. I never really have an interest in this film, but because I'm going through them films and because John talked about it and said it was so bad it was good, or it was like really over the top cheese, but you just love to watch it, that's my type of film. So I'm going to give this a go. I really like Bridget Nielsen in Rocky 4, so I can't remember too many films I've seen her in apart from that. And obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger's in there too. So yeah, I just haven't checked this one out yet, but glad to own it, and I'll be watching this before the year ends, definitely, to get through all them Arnold Schwarzenegger films. Next up, we have a film that I've never seen, but I've heard it's one of the best films ever made, and that is Philadelphia. This has been on my list to pick up for a very long time too. Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, two great actors in there. I'm pretty sure Tom Hanks won the Oscar for this. Best actor, yes. Tom Hanks. Yes, he won Best Actor 2 years on the run, was it, for this and Forrest Gump? 1994 was such a great year for movies, wasn't it? Oh, 93 this is, sorry. I think this is about a guy who has AIDS and he's discriminated against, so he gets this lawyer to help him, but I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't know too much about it, but I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. This is high on my list to watch and prioritise, because I've just wanted to see it now for the longest time. I've heard it flies by and it's a really well-paced film. So yeah, looking forward to that one. That is Philadelphia. Just going to move these over a little bit here, guys. Now, there was a little bit of an Arrow sale on this Easter, and I went to HMV, and after hearing Elliot Cohen talk about this movie on his movies that he's watched lately, I thought that sounds really good, and it was in the Arrow sale, so I picked it up, and that is The Sacred Spirit. I think this is about a group of people who believe in UFOs and stuff, and one of them is taken by a UFO, the leader or something, but I don't know. Again, it's another movie I haven't seen, but the way Elliot described it really made me want to watch it, and then I seen it in the sale for $9.99 and just went, yeah, and this is like a 2-disc edition with a nice slipcase booklet and everything inside, lots of special features on the back like Arrow usually do. It's not something I usually just grab off the shelf, but I remember him talking about it in this video and I thought, yeah, I'm going to get that. So looking forward to checking this one out. It's a 2021 film, and what I'll say about Arrow is some of the latest movies they do turn out to be really good. Like, they done an Incident with the Ghostland from about 2017, and they done loads of Chaos, and I blind-buyed them movies, and I had a blast with them. So I do think Arrow are quite good at the newer releases, as well as the older ones. So with this being a 2021 film, I hope that can stand in the same area as them two, basically, because they did surprise me, and hopefully this one does as well. And now we have another Arrow movie. I was on Cody Leach's live stream just watching it, and someone said, have you seen this film? And he said, no, I haven't. And then I looked it up and thought, that sounds really good, actually. And that is Clive Barker's Nightbreed. I think it's about a guy who has all these dreams of this place where demons live, and they go and rest there, or these movie monsters, and he believes he should be there. But I'm not certain. I think this got bashed by the critics in 1990 when it came out, but then it started to gain a little bit of a cult following. And I've looked on Letterboxd, and a lot of people rate this quite highly. People who I trust with movie tastes on my Letterboxd and stuff, giving it like 4 stars. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this one out as well. And that is Clive Barker's Nightbreed. And now we have another Arrow Video movie. This is one I've been after for a while, after hearing Bryn at Horror Hands talk about it. And it sounds like a very brutal movie, and that is Hounds of Love. I think this is a Australian film, and I think it's about this young girl who's kidnapped by this couple, and she is just subjected to all types of torture and mental torture and physical torture. But again, I haven't seen the movie. I'm so sorry, guys. I haven't seen a lot of these releases. I really am. I wish I could have watched them all. But I'm really, looking forward to checking this one out. This has been on my list for a while. This wasn't in the Arrow video sale, though. I picked it up from CX for like £4. But yeah, I do like a brutal horror movie. I'm not going to lie. So hopefully that'll be a good watch. Next up, we have something that I was definitely going to buy on release, and I seen it. It came out a week or 2 ago, but I went to HMV and just seen it there and went, yep, I'm grabbing that straight away. First thing I picked up, and that is Never Sleep Again, The Nightmare on Elm Street Legacy. This is a 240-minute documentary, I believe. Is that 4 hours? And I think it does like half an hour on each film or something like that. This is my favourite horror franchise of all time, so of course I'm going to be delving into this. I probably won't watch it all in one go, but this is something I'm going to look forward to watching. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 movies a night or something, or just when I've got a bit of time to myself. I'm really, really, looking forward to checking this out. I love the Elm Street franchise. It's why I love horror. And delving into each one of these movies is going to be a joy for me. I know I'm going to love this. I know you shouldn't go in with expectations, but I just know this is for me. So, yeah, definitely happy to own that one. Getting a little bit into my horror documentaries lately. I watched the Pennywise one, The Story of It. I picked that up, and I watched a couple of In Search of Darknesses on Shudder there. And they're just really easy to watch because it's something you know and love. Next up is another horror movie from A24 that I've heard about, just haven't seen once again, and that is It Comes at Night. I don't know too much about it. I just know it's meant to be a good horror movie. Seen it really cheap at CX, so decided to grab it. That's another thing, isn't it? If you see these films cheap, your opportunity is there, so you can't worry too much about watching it for the video sometimes. You've just got to go with it. Hope you get time by the time of recording. So I haven't seen it. I'm sorry, guys. Let me know if any of these movies you've seen them, if they're any good, which ones I should prioritize in the comments. I'll try and get back to you all, I promise. Next up, we have another couple of more Arnold Schwarzenegger films that I picked up. I'll start with the one I've seen. Because I've gone through a lot of movies that I haven't seen. Been wanting to see this all my life. My friends used to watch it in the 90s and said it was just a really good film. I don't know why I didn't get round to it. A lot of my friends own this on VHS and stuff, and that is Twins, and I actually did watch this the night I bought it. Yeah, really, really good comedy. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger does comedy well, and he works so well with Danny DeVito in this film. They are the total opposites. One is a sleazeball who gets involved with gangsters and stuff, and the other one is like looking for his long lost brother, who is him, and he's just the nicest guy in the world. Not to mention the size of these guys as well. They're just total opposites. They just work so well together on screen, and it's like a road trip movie with they go with their girlfriend to find their mother and also to sell something that is worth a hell of a lot of money. But yeah, I had a great time with this. I do like when Schwarzenegger does his comedic stuff. And for me, I'm very, very happy to own this in the collection finally. I'm finally getting round to it. I can fit in with all my mates now who watch this movie. Next up, we have another Arnold Schwarzenegger film, one of his latest ones since he became the mayor and he went back into acting, and that is Maggie. This actually sounds like it's right up my street. I believe there's an apocalypse on the brink, and his daughter has turned into a zombie, and he's got to protect her at this farmhouse because I think people are coming to get her or kill her, and he wants to hold on to it. I think that's what it's about. But sounds like right up my street, and another Arnold film I'll have to get to before the year ends. Okay, if I don't watch them all before the year ends, it's not the end of the world, but that was one of my movie goals. The guy is my hero. Next up, we have another horror film, and that is New Year's Evil. I'm probably going to watch this around the end of the year when New Year comes, but it looks interesting enough from them Slasher Classics collection. I also picked up Christmas Evil, got to the counter, and they said, I can't find Christmas Evil, I'm so sorry. I was kind of bummed about that, so I'll have to pick it up another time, but I got New Year's Evil here. I think I heard John from Mondo Chelawick Movies say this was a good film, I think. Looks interesting. I don't know if that's the serial killer's mask on the back. But looks interesting. You know, I love a good slasher, so I'll probably watch this one towards the end of the year. Next up, we have Those Who Wish Me Dead, which is a film I have seen and have actually reviewed on this channel in my 2021 movie reviews. Nicholas Hoult in here, who's doing a bit of re-emergence now, isn't he? He's in all kinds of movies. I've seen him in Renfield the other day and The Menu. Angelina Jolie as well. She's like this firefighter. And there's a big forest fire going on, but in the middle of it, these two hitmen, Nicholas Hoult and the guy, Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, forgot his name, are out to kill this young girl because she's got away and their family know all these secrets about the government and stuff. And it's up to Angelina Jolie to protect this young child in the middle of this big forest fire. I actually quite enjoyed this. It was quite generic in places. It was kind of shocking at times, the way these two hitmen, they're kind of brutal in this film, but it was good enough. You know, it came out in COVID times, I think, or when the cinemas were just opening again. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed this one. I thought it was quite good, and I like Angelina Jolie. I can watch anything she's in. She's just got a good screen presence. She's a beautiful looking lady, and she is a good actress in my opinion. So Those Who Wish Me Dead, glad to own this one in the collection. Next up we have Paddington. I was going to hold out for a 4K, but I'm not sure they're going to do it. I do own Paddington 2 on 4K, but this is the only version we have over here. And I think this is such a charming movie. I like the second a little bit better, but this one is still solid enough. Just Paddington, he's just such a lovable bear, isn't he? And he comes over to London from the... I'm trying to think of the song in my head. From Peru. He comes from Peru. He comes from the jungles of Peru over to London to live with his Aunt Lucy. And I can't remember who the villain is in this movie. But yeah. I kind of enjoyed it. It's a heartwarming little kids movie, but fun for all the family as well. Next up, we have Night at the Museum, The Secret of the Tomb. This is the third film in the franchise. I have seen the other two. I own the other two, so I put that in. I picked this up really cheaply from CEX just to fit it in with the other three. And me and my wife will watch it eventually because we really enjoyed the first two. So I'm hoping this is more of the same. And lastly, we have Batman versus TwoFace. Again, haven't seen it. Apologies once again, guys. I always pick these movies up when I see them in CEX, these Batman animated films, because they're so easy to watch. They're very short films, and I always have a good time with them. I do have a few worries going into this one, though, the way it's done in the same vein as the 60s cartoon, because I wasn't a big fan of the 60s movie on rewatch. In fact, I kind of hated it. I used to love it as a kid, and when I rewatched it not long ago, I hated it. So I'm interested to see how this one's going to turn out for me, but glad to own that one. I'll get them all eventually, them animated films. I own quite a few of them now. And that is it, guys. That is my Blu-ray and 4K update. What did you think of these pickups, these films? Let me know in the comments down below. Which ones should I prioritize? And again, apologies for not watching many of these films, but like I said, that Fast and Furious box set has taken a lot of time off. And thanks so much, guys. Please give this video a like and subscribe. It really helped me out. Take it all easy, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.